everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all staying safe out there and you have enough toilet paper, pasta, and video games to get you through this little bump in the road. But you still have me. I'll always be here. I'm like that annoying skin tag you have on your back that won't go away. So in today's video, we are going to play a little game.
I want to play a game.
We are going to be taking a look at a few action figures from a variety of different toy lines to see if you can actually guess which actor or actress the figure is portraying. You may be able to get a little hint here and there from the clothing of the figure, but I'm telling you, some of these are nearly impossible to guess. I would be hella impressed if somebody actually guessed all of these. Some companies did a fantastic job capturing the unique features of each actor, while others didn't really seem to hit the mark. This could be due to a few reasons, such as early toy production based on character concept designs rather than the actual cast actor, poor sculpts in general with not a lot of money invested into the toy line, or perhaps it was a legal issue. Generally, when actors enter into contracts with movies or TV shows that generate merchandise, their likeness is part of the deal. Sometimes royalties or a cut of the merchandise is factored into their contracts, sometimes not, and sometimes companies may not be able to acquire the rights to the celebrity's likeness. So let's see how many of these you can correctly guess. Let me know in the comments down below how you did, and if you enjoy content like this, hit that subscribe button for more nerdy content. Okay, number one, who do we have here? Okay, we got 6 fingers on each hand, which makes for giant looking meaty hands. You may be able to guess from these features alone, but what actor is this? If you said John Travolta as Turl from 2000's Battlefield Earth, you're correct.
How exactly do you plan to do that?
Next up, almost military style looking figure must be involved in something very important. Is it aliens, monsters? Who knows? But can you see anyone in this figure's face? It's a pretty generic looking man face. Ding ding, it's Matthew Broderick as Dr. Nick from Godzilla 1998. You know what? I really don't care what anyone says. I know this movie really sucked and it was a terrible movie, but I really like Zilla.
He's caught in the suspension cables. Do it.
Okay, we got a clearly very handsome bad boy on our hands here. He's either gonna rob you blind or make one of your fantasies come true. But I feel like the nose and lip area really give it away here. But let's see if you can take a guess. And yaha! It's Channing Tatum as Duke from 2009's G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra. Damn, he looking fine!
Thank you, sir.
I know for a fact that no one will get this. If you do get it right, it's only because you had this figure. I think it's like impossible to guess this. So take a shot, I'll give you a little hint. His favorite color is green. Yes, it's Edward Norton himself as Bruce Banner from The Incredible Hulk of 2008. If you squint really hard, it kind of does look like him.
You don't want to make me angry. You're not gonna like me when I'm angry.
Number 5. Okay, let's get some female up in here. This will probably be an easy one, but what actress's soul is encased inside of this figure? Yep, it's Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley from Aliens 1987. It's a very nice looking figure, but I think they really missed the mark on that facial sculpt.
You never said anything about an android being on board, why not?
Number 6. This should be an easy guess based on the clothing, but I don't really remember him wearing a Shriner's hat or an Abu hat or whatever that hat's called. It might just be extra material that was needed for this figure's features to perform properly, so I'm not really sure where that hat's from. So who is it? Take a wild guess. It is Alec Baldwin as Adam Maitland from 1988's Beetlejuice.
You want a cigarette?
Oh no, thank you.
I'm trying to cut down myself.
Some of you may be able to guess this one. We have a well-coiffed individual here wearing a purple turtleneck. He's got a pretty distinct pair of high-rise eyebrows, and he's got this symbol on his chest that you might be able to decipher. It's my favorite Batman. It's Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne from the 1992 Batman Returns movie.
What do you mean? Not you and Max.
Number 8. Next up, we have this man of seemingly He-Man-esque proportions with an incredibly large chest and chiseled features. But who is the real man behind the creepy figure? It's Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt from 1996's Mission Impossible. Well, you know what? I can kinda see it, but I feel like the proportions are way off.
Relax, Luther. It's much worse than you think.
Now I'm throwing you a total wild card here. This is not actually modeled after any celebrity, but just take a wild guess as to who this figure made by ToyBiz in 1997 is supposed to portray. No? Nothing? This is supposed to be Aunt May from Spider-Man. This was from the famous cover series line from ToyBiz, where they recreate the characters appearing on comic covers. This was supposed to be Aunt May from her appearance on the issue number 115 from the classic Amazing Spider-Man comics. I don't know if this is Aunt May, Uncle May, or sold my soul to the devil to live another year Aunt May. She actually looks like a terrifying corpse.
I love you, Peter.
Number 10. Most of you may know who this guy is supposed to portray, as it comes from my all-time favorite fandom. And this guy couldn't be any further from the actor and character that is actually portrayed in the movie. This is supposed to be Wayne Knight as Dennis Nedry from 1993's Jurassic Park. Nedry was portrayed in the movie as an overweight, butter-fingered slob that couldn't keep his workstation tidy. Not a secret agent? But this is most likely due to the fact that these figures were made before the cast was chosen, and rather based on character concept sketches.
Dodson! Dodson! We've got Dodson here! See, nobody cares. Nice hat.
Number 11. I'm feeling very generous right now, so let me throw an easy one. Feast your eyes on Sad Man, all in black with very unusual legs. Kind of reminds me of Michael Jackson's portrayal of the Scarecrow in The Wiz.
Don't you carry nothing that might be a load?
Yes, it's Nicolas Cage as Johnny Blaze from 2007's Ghost Rider. I think it's actually a pretty good sculpt, but those limbs just don't sit well with me. And I don't think he can sit well with them either. Well, my friends, this is probably the most generic looking man coming at you, but look at his clothing. He must have an important role to play somewhere. But who could this possibly be? It's Friends star Matt LeBlanc as Major Don West from 1998's Lost in Space. But I feel like the sculptor of this figure was the one a little lost in space as they were working on this guy, or perhaps they weren't allowed to use Matt's likeness. We'll never know.
Hey, don't sweat it, Doc. I do this all the time.
Number 13. This definitely is an easy one for all those collectors out there, or if you've watched some of my videos lately, but who is this little lady all wrapped up so secretly? It's Madonna as Breathless Mahoney from the 1990 Dick Tracy movie. I feel like they could have done a way better job on this figure. They did pretty good nailing Al Pacino's facial features as Big Boy Caprice and some of the other figures in the line, but they didn't even put a beauty mark on her face, and they could have upped her signature makeup look. She's like the only character in the line to me that looks like she's a dead corpse with no color in her face.
Sooner or later you're gonna be fine.
Number 14, let's throw another femme fatale into the mix with this next action figure. This one is quite surprising considering it was from 2009, not 1999, 2009. You'd think the sculpt would be pretty decent. It's Megan Fox as Michaela Baines from 2009's Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Can't you see the resemblance?
I hate that it's working.
Have a kiss.
Number 15 coming at ya. We have a pretty big name here inside this face, so try to piece together the story here with the outfit. I'll give you a hint. It's from a good movie. This is Will Smith as Captain Stephen Hiller from 1996's Independence Day. Come on, this looks more like Ernie Hudson or something.
Who's the man? Wait till I get another plane. I'm lining all your friends up right beside you.
Okay, there is no way you can get this next one unless you actually had this figure and were interested in the line, so I'm just gonna tell you who this is. This is supposed to be Brad Pitt as Jerry Lane from 2013's World War Z. You can tell these figures have really detailed sculpts and details, so the fact that this bears absolutely no resemblance whatsoever to Brad Pitt leads me to believe that there was more than meets the eye on this bad sculpt.
Does it live on the Great Plains of Africa?
No.
Okay, everybody, home stretch here, the last 3. Feast your eyes on this beast. You'll probably be able to guess this one, but if you're unfamiliar with the figure, it may look like a futuristic space pirate to you. This is Alan Rickman as the Sheriff of Nottingham from 1991's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Kenner is famous for recycling old molds, and they were in a rush to get the Robin Hood line down. The Sherwood Forest was a recycled Ewok village, and even some of their characters were made up of recycled molds. Like, the Sheriff was made up of a few figures like Lex Luthor's body and Chainsaw from RoboCop's head. But on the other hand, Kevin Costner had a pretty good sculpt.
Now sew. And keep the stitches small.
This next one is actually sort of a companion piece to one of the figures already mentioned, but once again I feel like it's going to be impossible to guess because it's just way, way out there. I kid you not, this is supposed to be Shia LaBeouf as Sam Witwicky from Transformers 2010. Part of the Human Alliance series by Hasbro, I feel like this looks more like Andy from Toy Story or something.
I'm gonna do the trash cans and I'm gonna scrape the grill and I'm gonna sweep up the whole house. And
last but certainly not least, flying into our last spot, but who could this be? Clearly we have some sort of jungle-esque looking clothing. I'm sure he's a very adventurous guy, but boom! It's none other than Robin Williams as Peter Pan from the beloved 1991 movie Hook. But it's a real shame they couldn't get his likeness down. Perhaps there were legal issues or the sculptors were just very tired, but heck, Mork and Mindy came out like in the 70s and Mattel did a pretty damn good job with his likeness then, so what happened in 1991?
You lewd, crude, rude, bag of pre-chewed food, dude.
So that is all for today, everybody. Let me know in the comments down below how you did. How many did you get right? How many did you get wrong? And leave me your thoughts on some of these figures in the comments down below. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I come out with new videos every week. Come check me out on social media and help support the channel on Patreon. So thank you guys so much for watching and stay legendary.